Oh, that's it. Today I want to share with you another 10 things I learned in my days as a bandmate, but this time I want to show you how to improve your band's jam time. Let's do this. It's my thing now. You noticed? Let's do this. Roll the intro. Hey everyone, it's Pat and welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new here, first of all, welcome. And if you don't know what I do, well, I make all sorts of videos around creating music, such as tips, tricks, tutorials. Sometimes I do guitar stuff, sometimes it's bass, vocal, drums, all over the place. But if you're into that, you can click the subscribe button. And if you've done that, you can go ahead and click the bell to be notified when I upload, which is pretty much every single week. I'm still trying hard for a new one every single Thursday morning, 2019. Every week. Okay, let's do the thing. Okay, so improving your band's jam time. If you're in one of those bands that jams every week or practices every week, I call it jamming. If you're in one of those bands, it's kind of important to sort of stick to a form that will make sure that you don't waste time. And it's even more important if you're in one of those bands that only jams like once a month, or you don't get to see each other once a week or more than once a week or something like that. If you only jam a couple times a month or even a couple times a year, it's even more important that you stick to a certain schedule and that you don't waste time. I've been in bands where we would practice every week, or in other ones where it was twice a month, in others where it was like once every 6 months and then we did a gig or something. So I've certainly done my share of band practice time, and over the years have, with my bandmates, sort of devised a list of things that you can apply in order not to waste time. So I'm going to share that information with you right now in the form of 10 tips to improve your band jam time. Number 1, schedule your practices and stick to that schedule. I know it's really basic, but it's actually kind of important. If you manage to find a night that works for everyone, and let's say it's Tuesday night, well, stick to that Tuesday night. Don't, make it a Thursday another week or a Friday another week or whatever. Most of us have really busy schedules, and when we find that one night, we schedule a lot of things around that, whatever, knowing that that's the night we're not going to be home, that's the night we're going to be at jam, so stick to that schedule. It's really frustrating when some guy's like, oh yeah, I forgot that Tuesday's jam night, I have this dinner with XYZ or whatever. Make sure you stick to that schedule. And if you or your bandmates have other bands or other projects, it's even more important that you stick to that one day, because maybe your bass player or your drummer has another thing on Wednesday and then another band practice on Thursday, if they're working musicians, anything like that. Anyway, it's pretty easy, pretty basic. Make a schedule, stick to that schedule. Tip number 2, do your homework. This is so important. Unless you're in one of those jam bands that just shows up and just jams for 4 hours and tries to come up with stuff, which is awesome, by the way, love that technique, you should probably do your homework. What I mean by that is that you should show up at band practice ready, prepared, having practiced, and knowing your gear, making sure that everything works. In my opinion, practicing as a band is not the same thing as practicing by yourself. If you play in a band where somebody wrote songs in the band or you wrote together, you should take some time at home to learn your parts and make sure that you arrive at jam ready to play the songs as a band. It's really two things, in my opinion, that are different. There's you as a musician, and then there's your band as a whole, and those two things, they're different entities. You should practice becoming a better musician by yourself, and then you should practice as a band to become a better band. So during band practice or jam time, no time to find your tone, to change your strings, to practice your rudiments, or anything like that. Arrive prepared, do your homework. Number 3, before you play anything, as you're plugging in, tuning, vocalizing, whatever you need to do to get ready, make sure that you take a couple minutes to do sort of a mini band meeting. Take that time to make sure that everybody is on the same page and that everyone is working on their respective roles. If somebody's responsible for booking gigs and the other guy's responsible for merch or the Facebook page or something, make sure that everyone's sort of reporting and that everybody knows what's going on with the band. It's also a good time to share any kind of frustration you might have, or if you have a beef with somebody in the band, now's the time to get that out and to sort of resolve that and then start playing. Don't wait until the end of band practice and build up your whole anger as you're playing and practicing and then sort of let it out. Get that stuff out of the way before you start practicing, resolve everything, make peace, hug it out, and then start practicing. All right, now that you have shared how you feel with your fellow bandmates, now's the time to actually plan how the jam or the practice time, whatever you want to call it, is actually going to go down. What we usually do is that we write all the songs that we know on a whiteboard and then make sure that we pay special attention to the ones that need the most work. If you're in a cover band, you can decide which new songs you want to learn. If you're in a band that plays original stuff, you can sort of decide if you're going to write new songs and, just make sure that you plan the whole jam session and that you set a time that it's actually going to end. So if you say, okay, let's do all this, it's 8 p.m., 11:30, we're done, plan your jam, plan your band practice, it'll make things a lot easier for everyone. Okay, but can we actually play something now? Yes, we can actually play something now. And well, hopefully all the tips I gave you before this one only take up to 5-10 minutes maybe out of your jam time. So now we can actually start playing. So with that comes my tip number 5, and that would be warm up by playing your greatest hits. What I mean by that is that you should play the songs that you are most comfortable with, that are your most popular, that really make you feel good, and sort of warm up with that. Whether you're in a band that plays original material or a cover band, just play the songs that make you feel good. Play the ones that are the most popular, that you like the most, that are gonna set a fun atmosphere. Once you've done that, you can really get into it and start working on new songs or write or whatever your band does. But before you do that, treat yourself with 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 songs that really make you feel good, put you in the mood. Play your greatest hits. Tip number 6 is the next step I was just talking about. Once you've treated yourself with fun songs to play and you're warmed up, well, you should really get into it and start working. Jam time, band practice, whatever you want to call it, is a time to work as a band. So it's time to work on the songs, work on harmonies as a group, work on, whatever parts you can't nail as a band, and make notes of the things you have to work on by yourself, but really get into it and start working. My tip number 7 would be no distractions. I don't know how your band practice goes, but when we get together, we like to work. And well, it's all fun and positive and not that serious, but we don't like distractions. And the biggest distraction of our time is the mobile phone. In our case, I usually, turn it off, or I put it on silent mode or something like that. And well, as I'm shooting this video, my phone is over here on Do Not Disturb. And then once I'm done shooting the scene, I can check it, or if I have a missed call or something like that, I'll call them back. But as I'm shooting, it's not distracting me, and it would be the same thing when we practice. And if you're in one of those bands that likes to invite everyone at band practice, like your girlfriend's here, and somebody's boyfriend is there, and what's-his-face is in town, so he came to band practice, that's fine. It can be a really fun environment that way. But I would still recommend reserving time or full sessions where it's just the band working as a band with no distraction. Number 8, take breaks. It's another super basic thing, but it's kind of very important. It's good to plan breaks, to plan time to just stop, clear your head, make that phone call, smoke your cigarette, whatever you need to do, and then you can start again. What we would do if we had an upcoming gig or something like that is that we would play the full set and then take a break, and then take the second part of band practice to work on the things that we noted weren't so strong or needed some work when we played that set. That's one way of working. Or, you can play a couple songs and then take a short break and then start writing and then take another break or whatever, but kind of just plan your breaks ahead. It really helps. And after playing for maybe 1-2 hours nonstop, your ears are fatigued, your head's not in the right place and all that. So, plan your breaks, take a good break, take a breather, do what you got to do, and then start over. So, plan breaks. Number 9, respect your bandmates' schedules. This is something I still struggle with to this day. Not everyone can jam until 12 a.m. Not everyone has the same time to devote to music or your band or whatever it is. Make sure that if you set a schedule, everybody respects that, and nobody leaves, 2 hours early just for no reason. But when you do plan those jams, that time, whatever, respect everybody else's schedule. Makes a lot of sense. Still working on it. It'll come. Number 10, the most important one. Keep it fun. Getting a bunch of dudes or girls together in the same room and playing music is fun. It's a great experience, and it should always be that way. Yes, sometimes there's tension, sometimes there's beef between bandmates or whatever, there's drama, or some guy didn't practice or whatever, but never forget that playing music is special. It's an amazing thing, and getting to do that with other people is even more amazing. Always keep it fun, always keep it light. You can work hard and there can be some downsides, but in the end, it should always be a fun, light, enjoyable experience. So I would recommend no lashing out, no shouting matches, and no walking out of the jam space in the middle of a song. Don't do that, man. Keep it chill, keep it light, keep it fun. So what do you think? Good advice or total waste of time? I don't know. I just wanted to share that with you. You can share it with your friends if you want. There's a share button. There's also a like button if you've enjoyed the video. And all my social links and all that stuff is in the description down below, along with more videos to watch. Thanks for watching, by the way. I guess I'll see you next time. Cheers. I like to walk out with this. You notice? It's like, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And walking out to the corner where I can go. And then I'm just going to go back here to my remote control and then hit stop. Anyway, see you next time. Bye.